What is a device driver, and why does it matter for macOS? Imagine your computer as a busy city. The hardware components are like different buildings and roads. The operating system is the city's traffic controller. But how does the traffic controller talk to all these different buildings? That's where device drivers come in. A device driver is a small piece of software that acts like a translator. It helps the operating system communicate with hardware devices like printers, graphics cards, or keyboards. Without these drivers, the operating system wouldn't understand how to use the hardware properly. Think of it as a language interpreter that makes sure instructions are understood. When you send a print command, the operating system passes that instruction to the printer driver. The driver then converts it into a language the printer understands. When the printer responds, the driver translates that back into a format the operating system can read. This all happens very quickly behind the scenes. Device drivers are essential because they make hardware usable. If a driver is missing or outdated, the hardware might not work at all. For example, if your printer driver is not installed or is corrupted, your printer may not print even if it's plugged in. The same applies to graphics cards, sound cards, or network adapters. Each hardware device needs a specific driver designed for your operating system. Drivers for Windows won't work on macOS or Linux. Troubleshooting common operating system errors often involves checking drivers. If your system crashes or hardware isn't recognized, outdated or incompatible drivers are usually the cause. Updating drivers can fix many issues and improve system stability. Most modern operating systems like Windows, macOS, and Linux automatically find and install driver updates. But sometimes, especially after a new hardware installation or system upgrade, you need to manually update drivers. Different operating systems handle drivers differently. Windows uses a driver model that includes kernel mode and user mode drivers. Kernel mode drivers have higher privileges and direct access to hardware, which makes them more powerful but also riskier if they have bugs. macOS and Linux use kernel modules for drivers, but their update processes differ. Linux often includes many open-source drivers, while Windows relies more on drivers provided by hardware manufacturers. In short, device drivers are the bridge between your operating system and hardware. They allow your computer to recognize and use all connected devices properly. When you face errors like hardware not working or system crashes, checking and updating drivers is often the first step in fixing the problem. Without drivers, your hardware is just a piece of metal or plastic, not a functional part of your computer.